Bach, a graduate of the University of Michigan School of Law, and Associate Professor of Law Tanya M. Evans, a graduate of Howard University School of Law. Both are wearing gowns and hoods distinctive to their law schools. You will note that the graduates are gowned in black robes trimmed in black velvet with 3 black stripes called chevrons across each sleeve. This designates the doctoral degree. Each graduate is wearing a hood trimmed in purple to show the doctoral degree is in law and the colors of Widener University, blue and yellow. Some students are wearing blue and yellow cords around their necks, which designate that the student is graduating with academic honors. Students wearing gold cords are being recognized for their academic achievements as members of Phi Kappa Phi. Red cords signify recognition for students' pro bono work. White cords designate students who are members of the Widener Law Journal and the Widener Journal of Law, Economics, and Race. Members of the Moot Court Honor Society and the Trial Advocacy Honor Society are recognized by green cords. The students will be followed by the faculty. Leading the faculty is Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and Professor of Law, D. Benjamin Barrows. Each faculty member wears a hood trimmed in purple and showing the colors of his or her law school. This part of the processional adds a great deal of color and pageantry to the ceremony. We are extremely proud of the distinction of our faculty. Finally, the honored guests will proceed to the platform. The platform party includes the participants in the ceremony, as well as the trustees in blue and yellow gowns, the overseers, and in addition, we are joined by 3 Widener Law alumni who will congratulate their relatives as they receive their diploma. The last member of the academic processional is the president of the university, Dr. James T. Harris III. During an academic function, it is appropriate for the audience to remain seated for the academic processional. At this time, I will ask you to please be sure that your cell phones and other handheld devices are turned off. I hope that you will enjoy the program that is about to begin and will join the faculty and staff for a reception at the State Museum of Pennsylvania immediately following the ceremony in celebration of this momentous day. Once again, welcome.
May I have your attention, please? The faculty and staff of Widener University School of Law welcome you today. We ask that you remain seated for the processional. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is with a great deal of pride that we present to you the graduating class of the Widener University School of Law, Harrisburg campus, the class of 2015.
Welcome to the 24th commencement ceremony of Widener University School of Law. Please stand for the singing of the national anthem by Mr. Stephen McClendon, class of 2014, and remain standing for the invocation presented by Father Michael Reed II, class of 1992, pastor of St. Catherine Drexel Parish, Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad strides and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night, that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We open our hearts and bow our heads in prayer. Dear God, guide of wisdom and director of the wise, send forth the spirit of your wisdom upon all present for this solemn event on this long-awaited day, especially all who are being awarded the degree of Juris Doctor, that we may prefer wisdom to power and glory, and deem riches as nothing in comparison with her. For wisdom guides us prudently in our affairs, leads us on paths of justice, helps us overcome injustice, and with fortitude and temperance guides our feet into the way of peace. To you, O God, we give thanks for the blessings of this day. Amen.
You may be seated. Good morning. My name is Robin Meadows, and I am the Interim Dean of the School of Law in Harrisburg, and it is with pleasure that I welcome you to this year's commencement. Seated on our platform is our honorary degree recipient and commencement speaker, Glenn D. Gilmore, class of 1992. Also with us today are members of the Widener University Board of Trustees, including Secretary of the Board of Trustees and Chair of the Board of the Law School Overseers, Eugene D. McGurk, Jr., class of 78, and trustees, Mr. Thomas H. Bound II, class of 67, Dr. Cynthia Sarnosky, class of 74, and Dr. Ronald Stead. Members of the University Law School Board of Overseers include C. Granger Bowman, Vincent Champion, 2001, and Brett Kiesling, class of 2005. A member of the Widener University Executive Staff, Senior Vice President and Provost, Dr. Stephen Wilhite, our distinguished faculty, and 3 alumni who will congratulate their relatives as they receive diplomas. Please join me in welcoming all of our distinguished guests. And now it is with great deal of pleasure that I introduce the president of Widener University, Dr. James T. Harris III.
Thank you, Dean Meadows. And before I begin my remarks, I just would like to thank Dean Meadows. She stepped into the role of interim co-dean in the last year, and she was instrumental in the fact that we now will have, beginning next year, the Commonwealth Law School of Widener University, and the hours, the countless hours that she put into helping the law school achieve that remarkable accomplishment. So let's give Dean Meadows a round of applause and thank her. Trustee McGurk, Mr. Gilmore, members of the Board of Trustees and overseers, distinguished guests, I want to welcome you today to commencement ceremonies. Before I begin my remarks, I'd like to just pay a special tribute, because yesterday was a special day in America. The Congress has asked us to recognize Armed Forces Day. Would the men and women who are currently serving our country in the armed forces in any branch please rise? Whether you don't have to be a graduate, there we go. Let's give them a round of applause for their service to our country. Thank you. Let me congratulate the graduates, whether you attended part-time or full-time. I mean, it's really a remarkable accomplishment to get through law school. And you're going to be joining a distinguished group of law alums who've gone before you. And without a doubt, you're going to add to this university's list of alumni who've made our communities more just and our nation better. What came to mind this year as I was thinking about what to say to the graduating class is that one of the values of attending a place like Widener is that our students are prepared with real-life experience when they graduate. Now, that might have been through a clerkship or it might have been through an internship with a law firm, but many times it's through some of the pro bono work that you're doing or through one of our clinics. And over the years, I've come to appreciate the value of being in a city, a place such as Harrisburg, the state capital of Pennsylvania, and what impact it has on learning for our students. Like you, when I first experienced the city of Harrisburg, I saw both the positives and negatives of the city. In my ledger of the world, there was one column that had a lot of good things and some that weren't so good. However, after watching our faculty and all of you work in the community in democratic partnerships with other community members, I've seen how valuable that relationship is. And Harrisburg has become part of the process of educating our students. So no matter what your focus was, it's likely that some of your experiences in the city have helped shape who you are today. In these ways, Harrisburg has been a real resource to your growth and development. So yes, Harrisburg has its share of problems, and we know about those. And we know based on what students tell us that it's your experience in the community, particularly in one of those clinics or pro bono experiences, that might have been the most profound learning experience for you. But however you engage the community, there is a takeaway from all this, and I think it's this, that is, guess what? No matter where you go, whether you're staying local, you're going to stay in the Commonwealth, you're going to move somewhere else or far away, both Widener and Harrisburg will remain with you forever. Because it's important to remember that places like Harrisburg, or like the location of our main campus in Chester, exist in every state in our nation and every nation on earth. No matter where you land, there's a place nearby where people have access to wonderful education, great health care, really fantastic neighborhoods to live in. But there's also a group of citizens who face poverty and poor schooling, inequity, inequality, and it's within your reach as attorneys to have a foot in each of those communities and to step up and work for justice and equality. I know because of your experience here that you will not be like so many others in our society that turn their back on the communities and assume that it's not your problem. If you take anything away from Widener, I hope it's this: recognizing that it is that as a citizen, you have a responsibility, and as a law graduate, you have a particular responsibility to be engaged in those communities. As Widener graduates, we expect a bit more. It's our expectation that you will take on the inequalities in society, and you will not turn your back on issues of poverty and violence. Yes, I know it's tempting to say the issues are so big, what could I possibly do? I can also understand how uncomfortable it would be to step out of your comfort zone and stay and take a lead on one of these issues. You may say to yourself, who am I to stand up and advocate for such a change? Well, who are you to do such a thing? I want you to consider this. When you look at the world's population, with an advanced degree, you represent less than 1% of the world's population with a college degree, let alone a law degree. You are the beneficiaries of the struggles others before you endured so that we could all enjoy the freedoms that we have today. Yes, facing the societal issues we have here in Harrisburg, or working to heal the wounds across our nation, as we most recently saw in Baltimore, Maryland, appear on the surface to be too enormous for any one of us to act, but there is no excuse. So when you are asked, who am I to respond? I would give you the response that the historian George Kennan once observed about those who do not act when confronted with an injustice. He remarked, "History will not excuse the inadequacy of the response due to the enormity of the challenge." So class of 2015, confront the injustices in our society. I truly believe that the education you've received both on and off campus here in Harrisburg is the best possible way you could have prepared for the future. And I know that you will seek to use your law degree to advance justice in our society. I'll leave you with one last thought. In 1966, former U.S. Attorney General Robert Kennedy, speaking before a university audience in Cape Town, South Africa, had this to say about standing up for justice. He said, "Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against an injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope. And crossing each other from a million different centers of energy, and daring those ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance." I'm certain, knowing what I know about this class and the work that you've done so far, that you will be the next generation of attorneys who are ripples of hope. Good luck to you. May you be blessed on your life's journey.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. I now have the honor of introducing the valedictorian of the graduating class, who has achieved the highest grade point average in the class and will graduate summa cum laude. This year's valedictorian is Mr. Richard Scrignoli. Richard Scrignoli graduated from the Pennsylvania State University in May of 2006 with a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science, and in May 2009 received his secondary social studies teacher certificate from Shippensburg University. Richard has been busy over the last 3 years. He initially enrolled as an evening division student, scheduled to graduate in May of 2016. Never taking a break from his legal education, he has managed to graduate a year early while working full-time during his 3 years at Widener. During his first 2 years, he worked as a 7th grade social studies teacher, commuting 3 hours each day. Richard then accepted a job offer to clerk full-time for Justice Michael Aiken of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. He worked there during his 3rd year and will continue to do so until August. Although his time was limited, Richard took advantage of every opportunity that came his way. During the summer after his first year, Richard split time between 2 internships. He interned with Judge John E. Jones III of the District Court of the Middle District of Pennsylvania, as well as the law firm of Smigel, Anderson, and Sachs. During the summer following his 2nd year at Widener, Richard interned with Judge Susan Schwab of the District Court for the Middle District of Pennsylvania. Richard also had great success fellow for her legal methods class. Richard's a member of the Moot Court Honor Society and served on the executive board. He will graduate summa cum laude with Widener's Business Advising Certificate. Richard accepted a position as an associate attorney with the law firm of Smigel, Anderson, and Sachs, and looks forward to a successful legal career. When he's not focused on work or school, I don't know when that is, he enjoys spending time with his family. He's been married for almost 4 years and has 3 younger brothers. He also loves to travel, and while in law school has managed to go to Italy, New Zealand, and Australia. He's looking forward to traveling to Bali, Singapore, and Borneo after taking the bar exam. Please welcome Mr. Richard Scrignoli.
Thank you, Dean Meadows. And before I start, I want to say hi to my family in South Korea. I'm going to butcher this, but annyeonghaseyo. We're streaming to South Korea right now. To Mr. Gilmore, Secretary McGurk, President Harris, Provost Wilhite, honored platform guests, and graduates, good morning. It's an honor to speak today. Usually when I'm at a venue like this, I'm here to watch my wife perform, or I'm watching one of my younger brothers speak at their own graduations. I'm happy to finally join the club and the family. I was excited when I was told that I'd be speaking today. I thought about what I would say, and would it even matter? How could I possibly sum up the last 3 years? Most importantly, how could I do so in a manner that doesn't put half the audience to sleep, offend anyone, or embarrass my wife and family? As I sat down to write this speech, I set a few ground rules for myself. Absolutely no research. I've had enough of that. Absolutely no watching any other speeches. I want all of these words to be my own. And most importantly, absolutely no incorporating some random quote from a philosopher and discussing how much it has meant to me over the last 3 years. That's just lying. I wanted to be genuine and speak from the heart. Now, I know what most of you in here may be thinking. You just went through 3 years of law school, and you're about to be a lawyer. Any heart you once had is long gone by now. To you, I say, touché. Generally speaking, it's true. Not the heartless part, but this experience does change us. For example, parents. Remember when your child gave you their undivided attention? When they spent hours with you on your birthday? When holidays like Thanksgiving were filled with joy, laughter, and relaxation? Let's fast forward to law school. It's more like, sorry, Mom, I have work to do. Who cares if it's your birthday? You've had a lot of them. Just give me the turkey so I can hurry up and get out of here. I have to get back to my note cards. And for the husbands, wives, fiancés, girlfriends, boyfriends, and if you believe what they say about lawyers, our secret lovers as well. Remember that loving individual who devoted so much time to you? The individual who would cook, clean, take care of your every need? Again, those were the days, right? Fast forward to law school. Hey, can you take out the trash? Nope. I have a really important brief to write. Trash can wait. Hey, do you have any time to cut the grass? Nope. I have to thoroughly brief this case because I might get called on in class tomorrow, and everyone in class is always super prepared when they get called on. Or, I want a divorce. That's fine. My family law final's coming up. I can use some practice. And for our friends, let me just apologize on behalf of the graduating class by saying we are so sorry for the last 3 years. Not only have we been a little distant, but when we do have time to spend with you, we may be lecturing you on why you should leash your dog or how we could sue you for a variety of reasons. But don't worry. After the bar exam is over, we should all be able to get together and have some drinks. And I do have good news for our friends. We can drink a lot more now than we used to. And the poor kids of these graduates, remember all the fun you had when Mom and Dad were always around? Well, I'm sure you're all thinking what I'm thinking. Who is to blame for this? Fear not. As future lawyers, we are experts in assigning blame. That's right. You give us any fact pattern, any hypothetical scenario, and we can instantly tell you who should be blamed. As I've heard Professor Robinette say on multiple occasions, you always blame the individual with the deepest pockets, no matter what. So you see parents, husbands, wives, secret lovers, children, family, and friends. The blame shouldn't lie with us. Everyone in this room knows that the poorest people here will be pointed out very soon as our names are called and we walk across the stage in shame. You can easily identify us by what we're wearing. You can blame us all you want. It's not going to do you any good. No, the deepest pockets are actually seated right behind me, our professors. They come from prestigious law schools, have written books, testified in front of Congress, played in symphonies, and have written poetry. Yes, this is who to blame for everything. You want to know why we missed your birthday? It was because of them. You want to know why the grass isn't getting cut? It's because of them. I know I personally blame them for every single thing that has happened to me over the last 3 years, and I will continue to blame them for what continues to happen to me from here on out. You see, law school's not easy. That's no secret. I was nervous going into my first year, and I had no idea what to expect. My goal was simply to graduate and hopefully find a job that I loved. Well, I got smacked right in the face when I received my first graded assignment in law school. It was an assignment in legal methods, and I realized that I got one of the lowest grades in the class. I was devastated and truly questioned if I was smart enough for law school. I blamed Professor Hemingway for this terrifying moment, and I also blamed the geniuses who created the Blue Book and truly care if a period is italicized or not. I had a lot of doubt in my own abilities. However, I learned to overcome that doubt and learn from my mistakes. I developed a tremendous amount of confidence and knew that I was capable of handling anything that came my way. I have my professors to blame for this confidence. I was able to pursue a dream. I've been given the tools to succeed, and I've been provided with numerous opportunities. I've struggled, I've made mistakes, and I've continued to thrive no matter how scared I was or how daunting everything seemed. I will work in a firm with some of the best attorneys in the area. I can take care of my family. I also have my professors to blame for this. I've met some of my best friends here. They're not simply law school friends. They've become my lifelong friends. I know many of the graduates here today have developed relationships with their classmates that will last a lifetime. We all have this school to blame for this. This school has brought us together. I understand that this is an exciting time for our school. We're finally independent. We have a new name, a new dean, but that is not what excites me about our school. The true value of this school falls in our professors. These are the individuals who have molded us into the attorneys that we will become. We owe them a great deal of gratitude. It's great to know that no matter where we go, we always have this school to come back to and professors that will always be there for us. Our professors are not the only individuals to blame for the last 3 or 4 years. To our families and friends, thank you for supporting us. There's not a single graduate in this room today who can say they did this on their own. I hope every graduate today takes a moment to sincerely thank the people who have helped get you here. Speaking of which, another perk of being able to speak today is I have the opportunity to publicly acknowledge some important people. For most, law school consists of 3 years. For some, law school entails 4 years while working full-time and sometimes raising children. To the members of the evening division graduating today, congratulations on all of your hard work. Also, there is no higher calling than to serve in the military. We have 4 graduates here today who are currently serving or have served in the military. I would like to take a moment to recognize them. Please stand when your name is called. Dave Mara of the Pennsylvania National Guard. Michael Farley of the United States Army. Susie Cannon of the United States Air Force. And Brian Bartosik-Velez of the United States Army, who's actually not here today because he was watching his young son play a soccer game in Philadelphia. Thank you for your service and congratulations. And to my personal heroes, Mom and Dad, thank you for everything you have done for me. You've raised 4 boys into successful young men, and we owe you everything. Thank you for always pushing us and loving us no matter what. And Mom, I know you're going to ask me 100 times today. The answer is soon. You can use your inferencing skills to determine what she's trying to get out of me. To my mother and father-in-law, thank you for providing me with an opportunity to pursue a dream. And most importantly, thank you for raising the most incredible woman I've ever met. You've entrusted me with your most valuable possession, and I hope I continue to make you proud. To my brothers, thanks for always keeping me in check. No matter how proud I am of an accomplishment or how good I feel, one of you seems to always raise the stakes. I'm honestly more excited about your own accomplishments than I am about my own, and I'm proud to call you my brothers. To Professors Hemingway and Robinette, everyone has that teacher who has a tremendous impact on their life. You are my teachers. Thank you for believing in me, giving me guidance, and never giving up on me. Our school is phenomenal because of professors like you. To Professor Hussey, I'm sure you hear this all the time, but thank you for sparking my love for tax law. I truly enjoyed your complex PowerPoints and the wonderful wit and humor you brought to class. And to Ryan, Matt, and Sarah, My law school experience would have been much different if it weren't for you. Sarah, I know you never seek any recognition, but you definitely deserve it. Congratulations on all of your success, and the federal courts are lucky to have you. And to Ryan and Matt, congratulations on your success as well. I can't wait to see you graduate next year and see you thrive in your jobs. And finally, to my wife, Margot. This is the one part of the speech she wasn't allowed to see. No individual has done more for me over the last 3 years than you. You're willing to sit down and help me study. You took care of everything at home. You cheered me up when I needed it and supported me in everything I did. You're the reason why I'm here. I'm looking forward to that moment very soon when I can tell you to sit back, relax, and let me take care of everything. I've made some good decisions in my life. The best decision was walking up to you and asking for your phone number. I can't wait to give you and our pet rabbit, Remy, anything you want. Congratulations to everyone, and I look forward to seeing what we do from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. That was wonderful. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Eugene D. McGurk, Jr., Esquire, who will be presenting our commencement speaker. Mr. McGurk is a partner at the Philadelphia law firm of Raines McCarty and is secretary of the Widener University Board of Trustees and chair of the Law School Board of Overseers. Mr. McGurk is a graduate of LaSalle University and a 1978 summa cum laude graduate of the Delaware Law School of Widener University. We are pleased to welcome Mr. McGurk to the commencement ceremony today. Mr. McGurk?
Greetings, President Harris, Dean Meadows, Glenn Gilmore. Widener University School of Law welcomes you to today's commencement ceremony. Before you were a successful attorney, educator, and businessman, you grew up in the one-factory town of Manville, New Jersey, the youngest of 4 children. Your mother, Carol, a homemaker, and your father, Paul, an insurance agent, instilled in you the core values of honesty, hard work, and respect for others. You were the first in your family to graduate college, earning your undergraduate degree from Rutgers University, before going on to get a JD from Widener's Harrisburg campus. You received your degree on this very stage in 1992. You got your first taste of elected office in law school when you became the campus inaugural Student Bar Association president. You were named the outstanding advocate of your graduating class and went on to clerk in the New Jersey Supreme Court. From there, you became a municipal prosecutor in South Brunswick. 7 years after your commencement, you made your first bid at public office and became mayor of Hamilton, New Jersey, the Garden State's 8th largest city. You demonstrated great leadership in the face of a 2001 anthrax attack at a regional postal facility there, prompting the New York Times to name you a national hero. You also chaired the New Jersey League of Municipalities Economic Development Task Force. Today, your career serves as an outstanding example of the flexibility of a law degree provides and the value it adds for an ambitious professional. You are a digital marketing and social media strategist. You train members of the Fortune 500 in addition to teaching MBA executive courses in crisis communication, emerging technologies, and global social media law at Rutgers School of Business. As an adjunct instructor at Texas A&M University, you have helped develop and deliver crisis leadership training. You have completed executive programs at Harvard University, Kennedy School of Government, and authored Social Media Law for Business. Time magazine called you a man of action, and the Huffington Post referred to you as a tweeter powerhouse. With your 300,000 plus followers, you're twice been named as to Forbes' 20 social media influence list. We honor you today as a thoughtful and determined man who, as husband to Rosa and father to Ariana, embodies the American dream of education, career, and family. We recognize you for giving back to the school that helped prepare you for success by sharing your words of wisdom here today. For these and many other reasons, Glenn Gilmore, Widener University School of Law is pleased to award you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Mr. Gilmore.
Under the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the trustees of Widener University, I confer upon you, Glenn D. Gilmore, the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, with all the rights, privileges, and immunities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Chairman Kirk, thank you for your kind introduction. President Harris, Provost, Dean Meadows, distinguished guests, families, friends, class of 2015. All of you today should be proud of this day because all of you have had a part in this day. As your valedictorian said, it's been your families, it's been your friends, it's been so many people who have helped you get to this day and before this day to this law school. As you go throughout your careers, I would hope that you always keep in mind the fact that so many other people helped you achieve your dreams, because it is in that remembering, it is in that gratitude that you will be better in your determination to do good and to do important things. I commend Widener University for its devotion to civic leadership, and I found it interesting to read a Facebook post on the Widener Facebook page, which I'm proud to read, and it says, "We cultivate leadership and civic engagement in our students. We contribute to the well-being of the community we serve." I commend the class of 2015 for its leadership and service in the creation of the Environmental Law and Sustainability Initiative, an initiative that I hope you will find inspiring for the rest of your careers in law, because it is in the service of others that we as lawyers have the greatest ability to help our community. Likewise, the Harrisburg Civil Law Clinic and the Volunteers for the Arts initiatives that have helped citizens in the surrounding community. Today, I would like to talk to you about magic, the magic of being a lawyer. When I was a kid, I always had this sense that lawyers were magicians, because when I was in the company of lawyers, adults acted kind of funny. They would stiffen up, and they would begin to whisper. And ultimately, as if by way of explanation, someone would say, "Well, he's a lawyer," or "she's a lawyer," as if that explained everything. There was a kind of reverence that attaches to medical doctors, that in some way, somehow, they can work magic. The older I've gotten, the more I've practiced law, the more I've recognized the correctness of my assessment as a child. Lawyers really can work some magic. And you'll see this early on in your careers as attorneys. And one of the first moments in which your powers of performing magic will be tested, and this will happen. It will happen on a night in which you have planned to do something special with that someone special. And then your phone's going to ring. And when it does, you listen to the call. It'll be from a very dear friend who's in a very serious problem. And when you get off the phone, you'll have to tell your significant other, that special person, plans have changed. I've got to go. The explanation that you can only give is, "Honey, I'm a lawyer. I got to go." Client confidentiality, your friend's dilemma. will prevent you from saying anything more to that special someone in your life by way of explanation of why your evening has just been ruined. You'll get in your car and you'll head to your friend, wondering what you'll do, thinking pretty sure that there's not going to be much of anything you're going to be able to do except perhaps comfort a friend. But when you get there, something very special will happen. You will work magic. You will work magic. You will not get paid for that night. A little bit later, or perhaps before, a family member will pull you aside. They'll want to whisper too. And they'll say, I've got a situation, and I wonder if you can help me with it. Work a little magic that you lawyers can work. Your explanation that this is not the sort of law you practice will be utterly meaningless, because you will find yourself practicing this area of the law. And once again, you will surprise yourself, perhaps your family member as well, and you will work some magic. Again, not getting paid for that time, but working some magic. But the most important magic that you'll work as a lawyer will be for strangers, people you don't know. They're the ones that you've been tasked with helping above all others, really, when you think about it. About 2 years ago, I had a woman come see me. I'm a solo practitioner. I worked with a large firm in the past, but have been a solo practitioner for a few years now. And she wanted to see me because she didn't know where else to turn, and she needed to talk to me, and so I said, of course you can come and see me. But I didn't think that I would be able to do anything at all for her, because she had already gone to a very big law firm, and they told her that, yes, the passing of her husband was a tragedy, but there was no case. Now, who was I to think that I could work magic when a big law firm could not? I would urge you, as you go through your legal careers, to never leave the assessment of a case to anyone else. Don't abdicate that to anyone else. And always understand that it is your obligation as a lawyer to do your best to always work some magic. Fast forward to 2 years later, there is consensus that that case that was not a case is certainly worth 7 figures. We work magic when we put our effort into it. And we put our effort into it with the benefit of an incredible education from Widener University School of Law that allows us to do great things. There will be a time in the future in which you may no longer practice law, that you may decide to do something else, to become a full-time entrepreneur or a public servant. There was a point in which I was working for a law firm of about 100 lawyers, and I went into the office of the managing partner, and I said to him, I've decided I want to run for mayor of Hamilton. It's a full-time job. I'll need to leave the law firm. And he said, without missing a beat, Glenn, stay with us. You'll make a lot more money. He was probably right. But I don't regret the fact that I ran for and was elected to public office and served 8 years as mayor of Hamilton in New Jersey. And there is no question in my mind that very often, pretty much every day, I benefited from the education I received from Widener University School of Law. So whatever you do, wherever you go, I assure you that your education will help you in many, many different ways. Right now, I find myself in this peculiar position of being a social media strategist. I just recently wrote a book about social media law. It's really not, however, the subject of social media law that I get excited about when I think about social media as a topic. What excites me about social media, what inspires me about social media, is the ability of it to connect us all with each other, to cross all kinds of boundaries. And as you think about it, in life, the real magic is our ability to connect with each other. our ability to help each other, our ability to inspire each other, our ability to love each other. My ask of you today is very simple, that you never forget those, as your valedictorian said, who helped you get to this day, who helped you meet this dream. And that you always, wherever you find yourself, do your best to work some magic. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilmore. The Douglas E. Ray Excellence in Scholarship Award is presented annually to the faculty member who, in the opinion of the Dean of the School of Law, and upon recommendation of the faculty, has demonstrated outstanding commitment to the development of the law through exceptional and original works of legal scholarship. I am delighted to present the award this year to Professor Christopher Robinette. Professor Robinette has been selected for this honor based on his work during the year 2014. Professor Robinette authored an article with one of his students, Jessica Smiriglio, in a major insurance law treatise, and he collaborated with a professor at the University of Maryland to write a major article calling for the end of contributory negligence in Maryland. The article presents a detailed and comprehensive proposal to amend Maryland tort law. It is also a significant contribution to the study of law reform generally. Professor Robinette's work displays his tremendous commitment to the advancement of tort law and tort law theory, while also is representative of his dedication to enriching the knowledge of his students. Congratulations. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the Outstanding Faculty Award. Each year, the graduating class has the opportunity to select, in their opinion, the most outstanding faculty member from their 3 or 4 years in law school. This year, we had a tie. And I'm sure the members of the class will agree that both professors are very worthy of this recognition. Let me introduce them alphabetically, since I can't do it by vote. The first recipient is your Property, Business Organizations, Real Estate professor, Professor Benjamin Barros, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Besides being a dedicated teacher, Dean Barros is a nationally recognized property scholar, having published numerous articles on property law and theory, and who, with Professor Annie Hemingway, recently published an innovative new property textbook. Besides his work with students and his scholarship, he has held leadership roles in national organizations, including serving on the executive committee of the American Association of Law Schools and as a founding editor of the Journal of Law, Property, and Society, published by the Association for Law, Property, and Society. Dean Barros is a committed mentor to his students, providing guidance and support not only in their academic endeavors, but also in the development of a successful legal career. Congratulations. The second professor selected by the graduating class as the outstanding faculty member is a multi-time winner of this award, and deservedly so. He's your criminal law and procedure, evidence and advanced criminal procedure professor, Professor James Dean. Professor Dean, besides being a dedicated teacher and mentor, is a very embodiment of professionalism and has served as a role model for his students for over 25 years as a founding member of the faculty of Widener Law School's Harrisburg campus. Prior to joining the faculty at Widener, Professor Dean served as the United States Attorney for the District of the Virgin Islands, an Assistant U.S. Attorney, and a partner in a litigation firm. Professor Dean has remained active in a number of professional organizations, including the National Association of Former United States Attorneys and the American and Pennsylvania Bar Associations. He has published several articles on the criminal justice system. He has brought his wealth of knowledge and experience as a lawyer and litigator to his students through his classes and his yearly work with the Intensive Trial Advocacy Program. Professor Dean, congratulations. Thomas Russo's service to the Student Bar Association and the law school has been extraordinary. He has helped organize and attended countless SBA events and has worked with the administration on resolving issues involving policies that affect students. He has been an absolute pleasure to work with this year. Mr. Russo has managed all of this while successfully completing his law degree. Mr. Russo, please join me.
Thank you, Dean Meadows. Deans, professors, faculty, staff, family, friends, Provost Wilhite, President Harris. It's truly an honor to have been given the opportunity to speak here today and to have served as SBA president, and I only have my fellow graduates to thank for that. So I just want to thank you all first very much. Round of applause for these guys. I'd also like to thank the faculty, staff, and administration for really turning us into lawyers. I think our valedictorian said it best. I mean, these people are phenomenal at what they do, and that award for Best Faculty Award, very well deserved for Professor Barrows and Professor Dean. I'd like to give them a round of applause as well. I'd also like to thank the parents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, fiancés, spouses, grandparents, cousins, and everybody else, including mentors who are here today who really helped us over the last 3 or 4 years. I call it a team sport. You know, it's obviously we're here alone in a competitive environment, but without a support system, you know, I personally wouldn't be able to do it. So I want to thank everybody here for the 3 or 4 years of support. Thank you. And last, I want to thank, again, the military for protecting us, and especially our students, the graduates who are served and continue to serve in the military. And I have 4 graduates who I've gotten to know, who I consider some of my best friends. I was going to say professor. Sergeant Michael Farley. Lieutenant Dave Mara, Susie Ken of the Air Force, and Brian Velez of the U.S. Army. The class of 2015 entered in either 2011 or 2012. If you were an evening division student, you entered a year earlier. And because this group entered in 2011, 2012, I believe that fact alone makes this group extremely unique. In 2011, 2012, if you Googled, I want to be a lawyer, or law school application, or what I did was what do I do with a history degree if I'm really bad at math? You would get pages upon pages of negativity and pessimism towards the legal profession. And citing the recession as their primary reason, legal professionals, including judges, lawyers, and even some law professors, but not you guys, would make it very clear that it just wasn't a time to go to law school, that it just wasn't worth it, that it was expensive, it was 3 years of your time, and the market just wasn't what it used to be. And the internet wasn't the only thing pushing prospective law students away. It was coworkers, fellow undergrad classmates, friends and family even. And despite that, this group decided to come to law school anyway. And the pessimists would say that our decision was unwise and that we made a mistake. But if law school taught me anything, there's always a counter-argument. And therefore, I believe that fact that we came to law school at this time, when what seemed like the entire world was saying otherwise, is very telling of the character of this particular group of people. It shows this group is courageous enough to defy naysayers, that they're made up of fighters who truly want to represent people in need, and have an unmatched passion for their chosen profession. And I want to let everyone know here that having the privilege of learning the law with this group was easily the most rewarding experience of my entire life. And so I want to thank everybody for that as well. Thank you. On behalf of the class of 2015, we are honored to be the last class graduating from the Harrisburg campus of Widener University School of Law. And we'd like to present you, Dean Meadows, and the school with a gift. It's a 2-foot tall, 6-foot long stone monument that I could not bring here today. But it has the name Widener Law in big letters and Commonwealth underneath, the new name of the law school. And it will be set in front of the library building in June, hopefully, if everything goes as to plan. And I think that it really does serve, it will serve as a reminder of the momentous transition of establishing ourselves as a separate and independent law school for the very first time. We would also like to personally thank you, Dean Meadows, for serving as our dean during the most significant time of the law school's transition in amazing fashion. And I want to thank you very much for that. Thank you, Dean Meadows. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to that, and thank you for not bringing it with you. Mr. Gilmore, Secretary McGurk, President Harris, Provost Wilhite, honored guest. My comments will be brief, because today is really about you, your families, and I realize that I am the person standing between you and that piece of paper that you have worked so hard to get. Today, we are awarding 80 Juris Doctor degrees. Your graduating class consists of 39 women and 41 men, almost 50-50. One student is graduating summa cum laude, 2 magna cum laude, and 17 cum laude. Over half of you actively participated as members of our myriad student organizations. You come not only from the northeastern United States, but from as far away as California. You are an interesting and engaged group, and we are very proud of you. I would like the graduating class to stand and join me in thanking your parents, spouses, partners, friends, significant others, children, and anybody you met on the street and brought today for all the support that they have given you for your time here at Widener. Let's give them a hand. And before you sit down, it's been referred to by Rich and Tommy, but we'd also like to thank your professors who have worked with you through the years as your teachers and mentors, and the staff who have handled many issues, beginning with admissions and culminating with today's graduation. Will the faculty and staff please stand? Thank you. You may be seated. This is my 23rd year as a member of the faculty here at Widener University School of Law, and the end of my 18 months as interim co-dean of the law school. I've had the distinct pleasure of teaching many of you in this year's class, and it was really an honor to do so. This year, the Harrisburg campus celebrated its 25th anniversary. And celebrations such as anniversaries and commencement give us a chance to reflect on the past and imagine the bright future that lies ahead for this campus of Widener Law School. Over the years, I've seen this campus grow and mature, and we, the faculty, staff, students, and alumni here in Harrisburg, have really become a family. There is something special about being a campus over 100 miles away from your parent university and the other campus of the law school. In July of this year, that Harrisburg family will become its own independent law school within Widener University, the Widener University Commonwealth Law School, Widener Law Commonwealth. And while the name may change a bit, it will remain the same special place that it has been because of people like you, the members of the graduating class of 2015, the faculty, alumni, and staff who are here with me on the stage or in this building or anywhere beyond. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I'd like to thank you for choosing Widener as your law school, for bringing your time, your talent, and at least in your first year, your enthusiasm for the law to our law school. Because of you, Widener Law Harrisburg is a better place. And you and the more than 3,000 alumni of this campus are the foundation on which Widener Law Commonwealth will continue to grow and thrive. Soon you'll be joining a very noble profession, that of being a lawyer. Becoming a lawyer was one of the proudest moments of my life, and I know it will be one of yours as well. Of course, there is one more hurdle for you, and I hate to mention it, but it is the bar exam this July. I know that the exceptional and dedicated Widener Law faculty has thoroughly prepared you to enter the legal profession, and that you have worked hard during your years here in law school. I know that after all the time and effort you put into earning the degree that you will receive today, you'll prepare diligently for the bar exam. I'd like you to know that we are here to help and support you. All you have to do is ask. And although we cannot be in the room with you on July, and I know you'd like it if we could, we will be there with you in spirit, knowing that if you've thoroughly prepared, every one of you can and will pass on the first try. As educated professionals and soon-to-be lawyers, you are leaders, and successful leaders understand that the true measure of success is not how much money you make, but the difference you make. The privilege of being part of this legal profession requires that you invest your time and talent in your communities and in helping others. A cornerstone of the mission of Widener University is civic engagement, and Widener Law has a long tradition of being passionate about service. I'm extremely proud of the way your class has been civically engaged. 31 students in this class have devoted 4,871 hours of pro bono service. That's an average of over 150 hours per student. While in law school, you volunteered to protect victims of domestic violence, you drafted wills for our area's first responders, you prepared tax returns that returned hundreds of thousands of dollars to the people in this community. You worked on environmental issues. You volunteered in the courts and in the public defender's office and in the prosecutor's office. You gave your time to numerous offices of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And through your efforts, you have made a difference to the people you served and your community. Would the graduates with pro bono distinction please stand? Thank you. I'm extremely proud of the way you've been civically engaged while here in law school, and I know you will continue to do so in the future. In closing, let me say that no profession is more honorable than that of the law. Lawyers champion the rights of the weak and the powerless. They protect the rule of law that's a cornerstone of our democracy. They guide citizens through the legal process that can seem otherworldly to the layperson. They draft laws, they advise businesses large and small, they represent the rich, the poor, the innocent, and the guilty because no one else can. It really is a noble profession. When Shakespeare wrote, the first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers, it was not meant to denigrate lawyers, but to praise them, because only by eliminating lawyers could the treasonous plotters eliminate the independent thinkers who might stand in the way of an overthrow of the government. It reflects the important role that we lawyers have in maintaining a working government and society. It's a role that you should all be proud to assume. As you leave law school and this place, take your place in the world that's more complex, complicated, and connected. As you zealously represent your clients, administer justice, build businesses, use the training you received here at Widener University School of Law, not just to accumulate wealth and things, but to make your communities, this country, and our world a better place. For you, our graduates, I hope that your careers are prosperous and fulfilling, and your lives are filled with happiness and good health. Congratulations, class of 2015. Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Mr. President, the students you see standing before you have successfully completed the courses of study prescribed for the Juris Doctor degree for which they are candidates. Upon recommendation of the faculty of the Widener University School of Law, it gives me great satisfaction, therefore, to present them for their degrees. Please be seated. And will the candidates rise one row at a time and come forward to receive your diplomas?
Pia F. Aklian, cum laude. Rebecca Louise Bailey. Keishon Barrett. LaShawn Michelle Bethia. Casey Daniel Bolton, cum laude. John Allen Bird. Susie Cannon. Michael Dominic Kazari, Jr. Joelis Maite Sakala, cum laude. Joseph Sherdon. Caitlin Clarkson. Casey Anna Klauser, cum laude. Sean Matthew Cooper, cum laude. Elizabeth DeCastro, cum laude. Vanessa Diaz. Michael J. Farley. Jennifer Dawn Fasting. Matthew Fine. Brianna Marie Gaumer. Ryan T. Gonder, magna cum laude. Donald Edward Gual. Andrew P. Hanna. Nikki Lynn Harrison, cum laude. Amanda Hartraft France. Eric Elliott Hawbaker. Jacob Daniel Herzing. Stephen Hickey, Esquire. Samantha Mary Hogan. Anthony Ryan Holbert, cum laude. Andrew Holloway. Peter Ryan Kay, Esquire. John W. Kneff. Carl Nicholas Konetsky, cum laude. Ryan Matthew Logan, cum laude. Benjamin Mark Lombard. Michael P. Lautney. David Nicholas Mara. Matthew Martin. Anthony Martinelli. Jordan Amanda Marzocco, cum laude, being congratulated by their father, Christopher Marzocco, Esquire, class of '96, and her aunt, Kathleen Marzocco, Esquire, class of 2013. Jennifer Swenson McCater. Matthew McDonald. Molly Wales McDonough, cum laude. Sarah Jane McGowan, cum laude. Erica Lynn McLean. Meyer Scott Messinger. Cassandra Muncy. Michael Charles O'Donnell. Konstantinos Patsiopoulos. Thomas Pellish. Sarah Marie Pregler. Dana D. Prince. Zachary Michael Rice. Richard John Rinaldi, cum laude. Kayla Alexandria Rosenkrantz. Thomas Michael Russo. Jacob Abraham Shankman. Richard Scrignoli, summa cum laude. Brittany M. Shutter. Amanda Jean Shimko. Carissa Marie Sipos, being congratulated by her mother, Dr. Cindy Becker, class of 2012. Catherine May Snyder. Edward David Sosar. Melissa Tolton, cum laude. Monica L. Uglutsa. Olivia Unger, cum laude. Nicole Lee Vito. Shayna Rebecca Weinstock. Mark G. Wendauer IV. Matthew Wilson. Tyre Thomas Wise. Ashley Marie Yagelinski. Phoebe Yates. Molly Elizabeth Zerfos. Chloe Zittel. Lauren Rose Zerillo.
Will all the candidates for degrees please rise?
Under the authority vested in me by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the trustees of Widener University, I confer upon you the degrees for which you have successfully completed the prescribed courses of study and for which you have been recommended by the faculty of the Widener University School of Law. This is signified by the diploma that you now hold in your hand and is conferred with all the rights, privileges, and immunities pertaining thereto. Graduates of the Widener University School of Law 2015, congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. Please remain standing for the benediction. Please remain standing.
We bow our heads and open our hearts in prayer. Dear God, you judge the world with justice and the peoples with fairness. Guide us in your justice and make straight your way before us. For your law is perfect, refreshing the soul. Your decree is trustworthy, giving wisdom to the simple. Your precepts are right, rejoicing the heart. Your command is clear, enlightening the eye, and your statutes are true, all of them just. May our footsteps be firm to obey your statutes. Then we shall not be put to shame as we heed your commands. Bless, O God, the men and women upon whom were conferred the degree of Juris Doctor. Make them worthy of their calling, and through their competence, character, compassion, and courage, powerfully bring to fulfillment every good purpose and every effort of faith. To you, O God, be blessing and glory, wisdom and thanksgiving, honor, power, and might, forever and ever. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you all for attending today's ceremony. It's really been a joyous day. I hope you will join us for a reception at the State Museum of Pennsylvania immediately following the recessional. Please enter the museum at the main entrance at 3rd Street, and you are welcome to enjoy the exhibits of the museum while you are there. Please remain seated as the platform party and faculty begin the recessional. The graduates will follow the faculty, beginning with the last row first. Professor Dean.